Gohan, the son of Goku and at one point, the main character of Dragon Ball. Now, his time as a main character was definitely short-lived, but his legacy and popularity lives on to this day. Gohan has received some incredible figures over time. I asked you guys what top 10 video you wanted to see next, and you guys definitely screamed loud enough for us to do this video, the top 10 best Gohan figures of all time. We do Dragon Ball figure reviews, news, and more here on the channel, so if you don't want to miss out on the hottest releases and special videos like this, make sure you subscribe. We're starting this list off with a figure that wowed me just this year, the GX Materia Son Gohan number 3. GX Materia has always been an awesome crane figure series for me. My favorite sculptor, Varuk, is the genius behind each sculpt in this series, which explains why I love so many pieces within it. GX Materia figures are almost never my favorites due to their smaller size and usually being on big black bases, which cause a bit of an eyesore. But this Gohan goes against all of that by coming out on top and basically being a sneaky Masterlise level figure. The scaling of this piece is a shock for those familiar with GX Materia, as he's bigger and heftier than a majority of the figures in this line, at least from a scaling perspective. The sculpt has tons of details like his well-crafted hair, the battle damage on his gi, and a charming key ball representing his first ever Masenko in his hands. The cherry on top is Varuk's supreme talent of being able to capture Toriyama's style in his face with his screaming, tear-filled expression. Gohan hasn't gotten enough high-quality figures yet in my opinion, but with this one and many more on the way, I think his future is bright. This figure truly feels like a great way to kick this list off. Here's a figure I actually wasn't too happy with when I first got him. Truth be told, I felt as though his facial details were not as good as the originally revealed product. It felt like an overall downgrade. However, since collecting him, I do feel like he's grown on me tremendously. I actually used to love the Omnibus Brave version of him a lot more, but this figure has grown on me so much that he's taken a top 10 spot while that other one has not. Gohan's much needed power boost and spotlight in Superhero filled me with so much joy. I think a lot of people who are down in his new form initially have come around to it as well and think he looks extremely badass. This figure captures Gohan's climactic moment perfectly as he fires a special beam cannon at Cell Max to defeat him. I love the glorious hair sculpt on him. It's big and demands attention. They also added some metallic painting to it to really make it pop and emphasize that glow of the form. Gohan's screaming face, while not as good as the production images, is still really well done. It captures that intensity he had in the film perfectly. Lots of collectors love seeing the figures in a dynamic pose too, so having Gohan crouch down and firing his attack is extremely appealing. And also the shading emphasizing his musculature is fantastic. What more can I say about this guy? He's clearly the definitive Gohan Beast figure, and that much is obvious. Masterlise figures are my absolute favorites, but I have to admit that some of the variety that Ichiban Kuji has been receiving is pretty fun. Dragon Ball Snap Collection initially soured my outlook on the set during its reveal, but since collecting it, I've grown more and more fond of the figures that are within it. The last one prize of Gohan from the outro of Dragon Ball Z is easily the highlight of the set. Zenkai Power is a banger of a song, but getting Gohan in an outfit from Sun Wukong is also amazing. Plus, he's riding a cartoonish version of Shenron, which is just icing on the cake. It's not often that we see Gohan in unique outfits like this, so there's a lot to appreciate just in that alone. Gohan's face is perfected with a determined look that fits his powerful pose and outfit perfectly. I love the highlighted gold paint for some of its accessories, and even though the piece only really has shading along the clouds, it's painted wonderfully. Shenron's greens really pop from underneath him, and seeing the detailed scales along him are also a nice touch. The piece itself is also pretty big, easily becoming a centerpiece for many collections that either want to have numerous different Gohan figures or to represent the various openings and endings of Dragon Ball in the anime. He's my favorite Snap collection figure they've made so far, and absolutely slept on by the entire collecting community, I think. I'd pick this one up before it becomes a possible grail in the near future. This is a figure that resonates in a special place of my heart. When I was about 6 years old or so, I visited my family in Brazil. I was also a pretty big naysayer of anime, even though I loved watching Pokemon. I just didn't know any better, like most children. Once I arrived in Brazil, I walked into my cousin's room, and there he was, watching Dragon Ball Z. The episode he was watching was the epic moment of Gohan becoming a Super Saiyan 2 in front of Kibito at the Tenkaichi Budokai from the Buu Saga. With that in mind, how could I not include this figure in this top 10? It's a moment that resonates so strongly with me. This piece not only has emotional significance to me, but it clears on so many aspects of what makes a Dragon Ball figure so good. He looks nearly identical to his manga counterpart, which is great. Plus, fans were dying to see a Super Saiyan Saiyaman type of figure in Masterlise. Gohan's hair has a very strong yellow with orange and whites in the shading to really give it that much appreciated depth. The texturing and folds on Gohan's outfit gives the figure plenty of life as well. The shading on his outfit, even in the black areas, are wonderful to see. This Gohan is also perfectly sized, being slightly taller than your typical Goku Masterlise as they were in the series. This figure captures plenty of what fans crave out of Gohan and gives you a unique outfit for the character as well. It's pure badass and deserves admiration from everyone. Let's not forget that Gohan and the Great Saiyaman are the same person. Shocking, yes, I know. The Great Saiyaman is one of my favorite arcs in Dragon Ball. It's lighthearted and has a simple tone, which is just so fun to watch. Plus, the developing romance between Gohan and Videl is really charming. Saiyaman himself is hilarious, but the fact that he never sees this many figures is so disappointing. Bandai finally ripped the band-aid off by giving us a Masterlise in the Battle for the Universe Kuji, but they went even further beyond by making this an e-moving figure with both of Saiyaman's iconic masks. One head depicts his helmet and the other his shades with a do-rag. The figure clearly recycles a majority of the aforementioned Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in this list, but adds a few elements besides the new heads. He's got his Saiyaman watch that he uses to activate and hide his costume, plus a beautiful cape on his back. The benefit of this figure using the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's outfit is that he carries over a lot of the great qualities of that outfit too. While I do admit that his do-rag head looks a little too small for the body, I still see it as a nice bonus to an already perfect figure with this helmet. The only thing that would make this better is if he was in a crazy flamboyant pose. Like I said, Saiyaman doesn't really get much, but I'm glad one of his only figures came out as great as this. Our first Grandista on the list, and it's the last one they ever made during the Resolution of Soldiers era. Ultimate Gohan. It's pretty unbelievable that Ultimate Gohan doesn't have a lot of high-end figures out there. It was pretty much his exclusive form for 20 years, but the fact that it doesn't get seen in something like Masterlise is crazy. But we were blessed in 2021 with this beauty that captures the Z style of Gohan perfectly. This figure was incredibly affordable for so long, and even though he's been going up on the secondhand market, he's still really affordable. The figure has an incredible likeness that captured Gohan's serious demeanor when he used this against Majin Buu. His hair is perfectly shaped and molded too, with plenty of line work and not a single blemish. I also love the colors on this piece. His deep, dark orange on his gi, the blacks of his hair, and even the dark blues of his gi are perfect. This also had shading on it, back when regular Grandista figures had this as a regular feature usually. Of course, being a Grandista, he's also a larger scale. He doesn't fit in with like a Masterlise collection, but is an amazing piece that works well within a Grandista collection. Whether he fits in with Masterlise or not, he's a must-have for just how amazing he looks. Of course, I couldn't have just one Grandista Gohan on this list. This figure was one of the first pieces I ever collected while getting into the hobby. This was around the time that I started to realize that not all figures were created equal. This Gohan is just utterly incredible. Not only does he have a larger scale since he's a Grandista figure, but he also has a ton of interchangeable parts to give him a ton of display options. He has charging up and casual sets of arms to change out, his Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 heads so you can display your favorite form, and his cape is even removable. I love displaying my Super Saiyan 2 head with his cape on it since it gives him such a unique look that we just don't see often for Gohan in the form. This piece is so good that I had to get two of them to show off both forms at once. I haven't even mentioned how amazing the qualities are behind it, besides the special features. Both forms' hair are painted differently, with the regular Super Saiyan form being slightly glossy, and his Super Saiyan 2 form having a matte finish with shading. Both are unique and perfectly fit the character. Their faces are incredibly accurate and have a wonderful contrast, with the Super Saiyan form being the more calmer and innocent one, while the Super Saiyan 2 form is determined and angry. His sculpt has textures and battle damage throughout, which is the cherry on top for this amazing figure. This Gohan nearly took my top spot, but a few have stolen my heart over the years. Make sure you pick up one or maybe even two of this guy for your own collections. This pick is likely the most underrated figure on this entire list. History of the Film is one of the most popular Ichiban Kuji of all time. It must be. With all of its movie characters in it, I feel as though Gohan gets really overshadowed, which is a shame because he's literally one of the best Masterlise figures ever made. This look for Gohan is my absolute favorite. He's got the purple gi with the red belt and armbands to give him a wholly unique look. The moment of him using the family Kamehameha is used in so many games and cards and even things like Super Dragon Ball Heroes because it's such an iconic moment. Seeing it in figure form is magnificent. The figure has a beautiful sculpt with his hair blowing back from his attack, his jacked muscles are pushing his attack as hard as they can, and of course he's in a dynamic pose firing the Kamehameha. The figure also features blood and scuffs on his body, which gives his already well applied and shaded paint another layer of quality. He pairs perfectly alongside his brother Goten, who admittedly should have just been included in the same package, but that's besides the point. His angered, determined face is perfect, and for a while, this was my favorite Gohan figure. Gohan does not get enough pieces, but when he does, it almost always hits as hard, if not harder, than this amazing piece. Possibly the most unique Gohan figure has to be his Masterlise Plus from Omnibus Amazing. The figure is a collaboration from two of my favorite sculptors, being Varuk and Joe. Their talents are on full display here with this incredible looking figure. Gohan's face is insanely good as he grits his teeth and has tears rolling down his eyes. Varuk always captures Toriyama's style perfectly, and he nailed Gohan's likeness here. Gohan's little body is well sculpted as it flies up from the key effect that they made, but the real star of the show is actually the busted Saiyan pod underneath Gohan. The pod has loads of details like scratches and scuffs from blowing up, a translucent cracked window, and the rubble that are all around the piece. It's not often that we see Masterlise figures that have amazing accessories like this, so it's very much appreciated. This Gohan is likely the favorite Gohan for many collectors, but he only just missed the top spot for me. I love this piece and of course the sculptors behind it. Get him while he's affordable because I guarantee that will not last very long. Before we get to my number one Gohan figure, I wanted to share 7 honorable mentions that just missed the top 10 spot. I love all of them and I wanted to recognize them in some way. These are in no particular order. Alright, it's now time for my favorite Gohan figure. If you've been collecting for a while, I'm sure you'll know exactly what this is. Let's go. The Master Stars Piece collection of figures is prolific. Many collectors still believe that they were the best figures ever produced. I love so many of these releases, mostly by the talent of Hiroyuki Nakazawa. This Gohan was yet another collaboration between two legends. The hairpiece was made by Hiroyuki Nakazawa himself, while the rest of the piece was made by my favorite sculptor, Varuk. There were many versions of this figure released, but his special color version has to be the definitive piece. Gohan's hair is sculpted to absolute perfection with different line work and texturing that really shows Nakazawa's ability to replicate the wild and crazy hair from Dragon Ball. Gohan's face is perfect, something Varuk is an expert at depicting too. The special color version features all of the scratches, blood, and damage from Gohan's fight with Cell, which is always appreciated on Dragon Ball figures. The figure is a respectable height that can still fit in a Masterlise collection, so he remains relevant even to this day. The colors used for the figure reflect the manga colors he has, so he gets bonus points from a purist like me. His transformation into Super Saiyan 2 is almost as iconic as Goku's very first Super Saiyan transformation. Everyone loves this piece. I haven't met a single soul who doesn't. If you truly want to represent Gohan at his best in your collection, this is the one to get. But that is my top 10 Gohan figures of all time. Please let me know your top 10 Gohan figures of all time, and let me know which top 10 you'd like to see next. If you made it this far in the video and you enjoyed it, then please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please join our growing community of awesome Dragon Ball collectors and enthusiasts that are just like you. There's a link to our Discord in the description below, so you can hop on in, show off your collection, give us your top 10 there, whatever you feel would be a great way to introduce yourself and make some friends. But if you also want to go even further beyond in supporting the channel, consider becoming a YouTube member. That way you'll get to see videos like this early, among other perks that we are working on in the background for the future of the channel. But I think that's all I got for you guys today, so till the next video, I'll see you all later.